The following podcast is rated L for late as fuck.
Live from the P3 Network Studios in Wisconsin, this is the late night edition of Around the Nerd with your host,
Frost,
and the hardest working champion on the network, Bobo.
Yeah, we've waited for our time to come, calculated everything we've done, we've upgraded. Now you can't outrun a champion. Now you're facing one. Can you hear them? Yeah, it's all for us. You believe them? Yeah, it's serious. Hear the siren. We're victorious. I'm telling you.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a late night edition of Around the Nerd. This is Bobo, and you're listening to the P3 Network After Dark. I'm here.
Yay, I can say the fuck word.
As always, I am joined by one of my co-hosts. Tonight, it just so happens to be the wonderful, the cold-hearted Frost.
The cold-hearted, wow. I'm just a...
Well, I'm sorry.
I get it.
Your name is Frost.
I get it. I fucking get it. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, you know what? Let me change that. You're not cold-hearted. You're actually one of the warmest-hearted people I know, and that's saying something. You are the coldest person on our network because of your nickname.
Yes. I am cold. Fuck, I've got my apartment set at fucking 60 degrees right now because I'm, like, wanna be frigid.
I mean, all right. So
I'm fucking weird, dude. We understand this at this point.
Well, dude, come on. We recorded when we recorded on the old network. What was the first thing I always did when you guys walked in the door? Opened the patio window.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yup. Well, and especially
That's the same patio that caught on fire that was apparently your fault.
Yep, but you know what? Just like our old producer put on the podcast, the following podcast is rated W for we didn't start the fire.
Hey man, if the fire marshals could be believed, to totally an unextinguished cigarette in the middle of a fucking rainstorm caused that fire.
Yeah. But actually it was not the fire marshal did not say that. I actually looked into that. But this is too serious a talk for Around the Nerd After Dark. Come on.
Fucking ass way too fucking serious. I don't know. I've been I've just been tired as fuck recently with all the shit I've been going through at work and everything.
You know, and that's understandable.
With the massive amount of shakeups that are happening, because we're not only are we looking for fucking managers, well, people that are working at the store I'm leaving now.
Right.
Like, now we're playing a game of fucking musical managers because our top-tier boss left the company. We don't know where the fuck she went. Like, she just disappeared one day. And so, our territory manager, the guy who's, like one step below her, he got her job, and now his job is open, and 3 managers from 3 different stores in this area are on the short list for his job. Which means that if one of those managers gets his job, then they're going to have to find an ASM to go up to an assistant, to go up to a manager position. And they're going to have to find a part-timer to become an ASM or whatever the fuck. It's just a musical fucking game of managers, and I'm like, I'm gone in 4 days? Peace out, bitches.
Oh, man. I would talk about my job, but nobody wants to hear about how I had to make 13 things of coleslaw in 2 days. Anyway, so unfortunately, Kharisma's not currently available. She might jump in at some point randomly. We have no idea. And if she does, fantastic. We'll talk about stuff with her. But if she doesn't, then okay. We love you, Kari. We really do.
It's fucking life, bro.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I couldn't record all week because I literally have had one day to myself in the last 6. And that was yesterday. And that was yesterday because I went with Moose to Wausau on Tuesday. I was in Wausau last week, Thursday, as you were attested to.
Yep.
So, and here's, I'll explain. So, last week, Thursday, I had to go get a new pair of shoes. I wear a size 17 4E, people. I can't get my shoes in Little Atlantico. So, I have to go to Wausau. Well, I decide I'm right across the street from where Frost works. I sat in his lobby for like 8 minutes while he was on the phone with somebody. I don't know who the other guy in the store was with you. But
it depends on, I don't know if it was the tiny little Asian dude or the big fat guy.
Tiny little Asian dude.
That's our store manager. That's yeah, we don't talk about him.
I just looked at him and like, I'm just waiting for Dan. I need to talk to him for a second. Literally, Dan walks out, I give him a bro hug, and I walk out the door.
Yeah, and he looked at me with the weirdest fucking look on his face after that. He's like, wait a minute, you actually interact with people? And like, I tell him this because it's just like one of those fucking things, like, I like, for my whole situation is like, I'm very antisocial, like I am. I don't like to interact with people when I can avoid it. Considering the fact that I work retail, it's a very fucking weird situation. But yeah. I avoid people whenever I can, unless I've like somehow interacted with them to the point where like I consider them friends of sorts, and then it's this weird other situation.
So like us.
Yeah. I don't even know how the friendship thing happened. It just like we're friends now.
Well,
this is a thing.
I can tell you exactly how it happened. You ended up sitting next to Moose.
Yep.
And Kinney cornered to me. And we started talking about Magic one day. And that was it. Game over. Bobo and Frost are friends.
Yep, pretty much. But that's just like, and this one of those things. Like I've had those weird kind of like interactions with people. And like the guy who's now the assistant manager at my store, like I worked with him when I worked at Dunkin'.
Right.
And like I worked with him at Dunkin', and then I worked with him, and he worked at West too. He was on Amex for a while too. But now he's the assistant. Now he was the assistant manager over at the Schofield store. Now he got moved over to our store because fucking Game of Musical Managers, and they can't find who the fuck they want to hire. And now, oh yeah, the managers of the store no longer have control over hiring. It's all back office now.
Cool.
Back office are the people who haven't fixed our air conditioning in 5 months.
Terrifying. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
But,
nerd shit.
Yeah, nerd shit. 9 minutes of bitching about work. That's okay.
Hey, look, we got 2 fucking hours, dude.
We have 3.
Oh, that's right. 3 hours.
You can definitely count on my fat ass not being up for 3 hours, but
I mean, I don't work tomorrow, so I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Right,
I'll be streaming. I'll be streaming tomorrow anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah. Frost, you don't work tomorrow? I close deli again tomorrow.
Well, that's an unfortunate turn of events for you, sir.
I was supposed to open meat department today.
Ah! There's a YouTube video playing in my ears.
Oh. I was supposed to open meat department. I ended up closing deli. We aren't going to get into that clusterfuck.
All right, nerd shit.
So, let's talk just a little tiny bit because I don't want to do this full discussion without Kharisma.
Yeah.
And I also don't want to do it without UMC. And I know the four of us getting all of us together is going to be goddamn near impossible.
Agreed.
But I am going to make sure I give it a try sometime in the future. But let's just talk for a brief moment about E3.
Yes.
So the first thing I noticed from E3 is they actually did talk about Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Which, oh my god, Nintendo, you're changing on us. What the fuck?
Dude, like, no, that's the thing. Like, E3 this year, like, most of E3 this year was kind of, like, mediocre and, like, kind of, simple kind of thing. But then all of a sudden, like, we're actually talking about Pokemon, and oh yeah, suddenly Hero from Dragon Quest and Banjo and Kazooie are in Smash. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Now, those are DLC characters, correct?
Yeah, they're part of the Battle Pass. So if you bought the $20 Battle Pass at the start of, I think it was like 20 or $30, you get all four of the unlockable characters, including Piranha Plant, Joker, the hero from Dragon Quest, and Banjo and Kazooie. And that's the Season 1 Battle Pass. That's the 4 downloadable characters for this year.
So, in other words, I'm going to have to get Ethan the Season 1 Battle Pass.
Probably.
Okay.
Joker is fucking busted, dude.
Yeah, I heard.
Joker is disgustingly strong.
I have heard over and over again about that. Over and 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 over.
But no, like Nintendo did a really good job at E3 this year. Though I'm gonna say this flat out, Square Enix fucking killed it. This year.
Oh my
god! The Final Fantasy VII remake getting an official launch date, and showing a full fucking combat segment. Like, the first full major combat segment, like, of the game, actually showing us the shit that's happening. And it's like, as someone who played 15, like, to completion, I am so fucking happy that they're keeping the good parts of 15's battle system and just tossing out the extra bullshit, like the weapon changing and all the other fucking stuff that just didn't work well.
I'm going to tell
really
you right now, I am pre-ordering that as soon as I can save up. Soon as I save up.
Oh, dude, I have the $340 collector's edition on pre-order already, and it's like, I will have that Cloud statue and that bike. It will be mine.
I mean, I'm just getting the standard edition on the Switch, and I'm getting it downloaded. So,
yeah.
But
well,
the thing
about
is,
it, like, the thing about it though is, like, for that too, like, they've announced this at this point. Like, the normal game is so big, it's going to have to be on 2 separate Blu-ray discs.
Oh, God.
Each one of the chapters is the size of a full RPG.
Oh, wow.
Each one of the episodes is the size of a full RPG.
Well,
I am
here's
okay
me getting a
with
terabyte
this.
extension.
I am okay with this because I am a PC gamer. And I'm going to love every minute of the smooth, buttery 4K video frame rate of that game.
Look who's getting look who's getting a terabyte expansion for his kid's Switch. Cool.
But the Final Fantasy VIII remaster, all of the cool shit, like with all the Dragon Quest stuff. I mean, the Dragon Quest stuff was okay and everything like that, but like, just everything that Square Enix did this year was fantastic. And as someone who plays Final Fantasy XIV, who is actually currently physically, while we're talking, playing Final Fantasy XIV, I lost my shit at that launch trailer for Shadowbringers.
Oh, I bet.
And as someone who doesn't understand the game or doesn't understand the story, like, one of the lines that is said, I'm not gonna like spoil shit because obviously it's like heavy story spoilers and shit, but like one of the lines that was said, because I was watching it with a bunch of my FC mates while we were doing it, because shortly beforehand they did what they call a live letter, which is basically the producer of the game talking, going over everything
Right.
that was going to happen.
Right.
We watched the live letter and then we watched the press conference. And, like, literally one of the lines that was said, every single one of us is like, what?
Nice.
Like, just that big fucking, like, what the fuck was just said kind of thing. And it's just, like, that's the kind of stuff that gets me hyped for shit like that. Like, Shadowbringers comes out in a week and a half.
Nice.
Like, I have access. I have early access. I will be playing it on the 28th when it launches. I conveniently put in my 2 weeks notice, so I had the entire first week of the expansion off. Who would have thought?
I can't believe you would do such a thing.
Yeah, I know, it's such a coincidence, and just so unusual, isn't it? But I will be streaming. I will be streaming on Twitch every fucking minute of my journey through Shadowbringers.
I
will be doing
forward to it.
Like, I will be streaming my entire time going through it. I'll be playing with my girlfriend. She will be on her newly leveled dancer. I will be on my gunbreaker because of course I'm going to be playing the new jobs, and I am just going to love every fucking minute of that expansion, and I'm going to play it to like everything I can do. But Square Enix killed it this year. Bethesda sucked, but Bethesda always sucks.
And then they turn around and do something.
Well, fucking, like, we admit that Fallout 76 was an abject fucking failure.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, we admit that Fallout 76 was an abject failure.
See,
we're adding NPCs, guys! We're adding NPCs now, okay? Is it good now? Is it okay?
I have a free copy and I still haven't downloaded it.
I will not play Fallout 76.
Yeah, I have a free copy. Free, and I won't play it.
Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna touch it. Like, at this point, I'm just like, nope, sorry, cannot make me. I'm just done with that shit. But
so we're gonna step away from Bethesda and Square Enix. Let's just take a moment, because I really enjoy the idea that not only are we getting a full, there are going to be 2 new Switches.
Yep.
One is going to be a more affordable version.
Yep.
And the other is just a slightly updated. Mm-hmm. Now, here's my question. In the slightly updated version, are they going to make it possible to where I can now Twitch stream from my Switch?
I would hope so, because I really don't want to have to go buy a $150 fucking capture card specifically for the purpose of streaming content from my Switch. Because I can stream, because when I had my PS4, I could stream from my PS4. You can stream from Xbox directly.
Yes,
Those
I
are
can.
all set up pre-automated at this point in time.
Yes.
So I would think that Nintendo would add that implementation, but it has to do with Nintendo being really, really tight-lipped about a lot of their code and shit like that. So,
and now, the reason I want them to do that is because I have been itching, and you know this because we talked about this when we first had the podcast, the very first, back in the old network. I am itching to do a Diablo 3 run with the team.
Yeah, that would be a ton of fun.
And I have it for the Switch. Now, here's the kick-ass part about having it for the Switch. I have it with all the DLC for the Switch.
Yep.
Yeah. Guess who still has not played all the way through on the Switch?
Well,
It irritates me that I haven't played all the way through. And let me explain why it irritates me that I haven't played all the way through. I have beaten this game 19 times. 19 times. And because I don't have anyone to play with, I have not finished it on the damn Switch.
Well, that's no fun.
Well, playing it alone is so boring.
Yes, this is very true. That's why like I have been so I know you probably don't know about the whole craze with Dota auto chess and all that other bullshit that happened in the last couple of months and everything like that that's been happening with Dota 2 and everything.
I don't know shit when it comes to Final Fantasy. The only thing I know about Final Fantasy...
That's not Final Fantasy. That's fucking Dota. It's Defense of the Ancients. Dota 2 on Steam and shit. It's the MOBA based off of Warcraft 3 shit.
Bro, but, I will stick with FTL. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, I understand. But, like, basically what happened was something, like, I don't know where they found the idea or whatever, but someone modded Dota 2 to add a game mode called Auto Chess. And this game mode was it was like lightning in a fucking bottle. Everybody fucking wanted it. Everybody fucking played it. It was like just a talk of forever and ever and ever. And so Riot, in their infinite wisdom, is like, hey, we have a MOBA. We can do this. Let's make money off of this shit. And so League of Legends has introduced their version of auto chess called Teamfight Tactics. And I have been playing that shit non-stop since I've gotten into the public beta, which had a fucking 15-hour queue to log on, because that's how popular this damn thing is, and people are like obsessed with it at this point. And I have been playing it like non-stop. Like, I had half a mind to actually be playing it while talking on the podcast, but that would be me, then you'd listen to me shout and be upset about some of the shit that's happening with my units, and that's not a good thing. But, like,
right.
Riot is, like, it's just incredibly popular, and it's one of those things that is just like, why the fuck is it popular? Why does everybody love it so much? And I'm sitting here like, I don't fucking know, but I'm one of them. Like, I'll play like fucking game after game of that shit at this point because I greatly enjoy it. And but now, like, it's one of those weird situations where you have just this, like, it's just so fucking weird because it doesn't make sense as to why it's there, but
right.
Like, everybody wants it now, and it's just fucking weird. And like, they announced it at E3 because Riot went to E3, which is just fucking dumb. And like, they announced it at E3, everything's all good to go, and like, I don't know. I'm enjoying it and all that shit too, but anyway, fucking fun times, good game. Don't play it because you'll become addicted.
You're good.
But I also, moving over to other topics, and my other bullshit too is, like, I've been watching a lot of movie trailers over the last couple of days because I haven't actually been like following movies because I have YouTube Premium. I don't watch ads. I don't watch any of that shit. So, like, I've been watching movie trailers, and I'm like, how the fuck have I missed some of these? Like, like, I am super, like, excited for Yesterday and Rocket Man. Both of those look so damn good.
Oh, my mom wants to go see Rocket Man so bad, and I told her that I would take her on a Tuesday night when we don't have Ethan, because I don't think Ethan would get into it. But I'll go see it.
Yeah. Have you seen the trailer? Like, do you know about Yesterday though?
Yes, I've seen a couple of trailers for it. Ethan watches Disney XD like constantly during the day, and they did throw a couple up. I'm excited for what was the name of that movie? Oh my god. I just went brain dead. All I can think of now is Toy Story 4 because that's what they've been blah, 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 about.
Yeah.
Well, I've already discussed being excited for Lion King.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing too. Like I took my niece to go see Aladdin like a couple weeks ago at this point.
Oh yes,
And,
that's what I wanted to talk about with you. I wanted to sit down and talk about Lion King with you because
Lion
or not
King?
Lion King,
Or
you know
Aladdin.
what I mean, Aladdin. You know what I mean. I have Lion King on the brain. I'm sorry. Okay, it's been a long, long day.
Yeah, well, I know it's been a fucking long day for me too, and it's not getting any shorter at this point. But yeah, no, I'll sit and talk about Aladdin. I'll shoot the shit about Aladdin because I have things to say about that movie.
Yep, and before we get into it, we are going to take a short break, about a 1.5-minute break here, and we will be back
After we've talked.
Hey, Wisconsin listeners, do you want to own the movies and games that we talk about here on the P3 Podcast Network?
Then stop on down at your local Mojo's Electronics in Anago, Shawano, Oshkosh, and Green Bay, Wisconsin, and they will do their best to get you any game or movie that you're looking for.
That's Mojo's Electronics, exclusive friends of the P3 Podcast Network.
Can I come out now?
Fine. Hey guys, Bob O from the P3 Podcast Network here. We hope you've been enjoying our recent rebirth of the classic reviews with Bob O. There's going to be more of that coming this month as well as next month. And you can look forward to more of Around the Nerd with, of course, myself, Bob O, and whoever happens to show up, usually Umsy. Every once in a while, you're going to get random moments of what we like to call a slack-off takeover. Little throwbacks from when myself, Kharisma, and Dan were a part of another network. Also making his debut on the P3 Podcast Network will be none other than the Moose. He'll be here with Moose movie reviews as well as Magic with the Moose. That will be coming up here in the coming months on the P3 Podcast Network. Thank you for listening as always, and enjoy the rest of the show. Hey, welcome back to the P3 Podcast Network's #1 show, Around the Nerd. This is Bobo as always, and I'm joined, as previously stated, by Frost. We were going to jump our next topic that we wanted to talk about. We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about the movie that came out, 2 months ago, Frost?
Roughly at this point, it was like April 21st or something like that.
Yeah.
Some shit.
And that would be Aladdin. Now,
Yarp.
I'm not playing a spoiler alert for this, and here's why. You can't spoil a movie that's been out for 20-ish years.
The only thing I will say, and this is the only thing I will say, is the changes they made to Jasmine's character could be considered a spoiler. Because her character is significantly different than how she was in the original movie.
See, they just didn't emphasize it. If you watched the Aladdin animated series that came out after.
Oh well, yeah, the series told a ton of stories with that shit. Oh my god, noise.
And her outspokenness, we're gonna leave it at. And her strength as a character. And her strength as a princess.
Yeah. I preferred how they did it, how they actually did it with her character in the movie. But we'll get into that when we get into actual story kind of shit like that. But yeah, you can't really spoil a movie that's been around for 20 plus years and it's just being remade. Obviously, there are a couple of changes that were made, like the idea of the genie falling in love with Jasmine's handmaiden, which was a great little touch, mind you.
Oh man, I loved it.
I fucking okay, so let's address the first big elephant in the room here, and that's like Will Smith as the genie.
Oh,
Like, he was fantastic as that character.
yes.
You could very clearly tell that not only did he love playing that role and
Yes.
doing that character, but like he wasn't trying to be Robin Williams' genie.
No.
And he let you know it very quickly. Like,
Yeah.
very quickly, he's like, look, I'm not like, you know, this whole thing about like being like just talking about the ancient genie or anything like that. Like where he just looks down and go like, hey, yo, where's your boss?
Yes.
It's like just immediately his
Yes.
character was his own. That was Will Smith playing that character. And I'm perfectly okay with that because
Go ahead.
there was no reason at all, like at all, for him to play Robin Williams' genie.
No.
Because he wasn't that character. That's not who he was. That's not who he's ever going to be. And
No.
like he wanted you to realize that very quickly, and he made that character his own, and he did a damn good job.
He did absolutely phenomenal. And here's another thing I want to throw into that same thing. The one thing I love about how they did Will Smith's genie versus Robin Williams' genie, they took Robin Williams' genie and they paid an homage to it by not making Will Smith a carbon copy.
No, there was even like the point where he like openly goes in like where you see Will Smith dressed as like that old bearded man from the genie's from Robin Williams' iteration of Prince Ali, and you
Yes.
actually see him look like, oh, you know, you're still blue kind of thing. Like that particular character where he's all of a sudden like, yeah, no, I'm not like this is me. This
Yes.
is who I am. I am this character, and I will forever be this character. I'm not going to be someone. I'm not going to pretend to be someone I'm not. And that worked perfectly.
Oh,
I absolutely love the way the character was portrayed. I love the storyline that they gave him too, and the fact that like his freedom meant that he was human.
yes.
He wasn't this all-powerful magical genie. Still, he was a human being.
The only thing I wish they could have given him like Jafar's powers. Like they could have given him just straight magic.
Yeah, they could have. But
That would have been a really good twist. Like that would have been something that would have just made me kind of be like, oh, okay, so that he can. So if they do a sequel, if they do Return of Jafar, he can make a difference.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't think they're not going to do Return of Jafar. They're not.
No, they're not. Because
But-
they're not gonna pull that through. Because that's just something that like that the animated version. Like I liked how, I guess you want to say different that whole kind of idea was.
Oh yeah,
For-
absolutely, absolutely. I just think like I was just thinking like if they wanted to do Return of Jafar, that would have been a really good way to make Genie viable.
Yeah.
And we don't know that he doesn't have magical powers.
Nah, man, he's just got the voice of a fucking angel. It's fine.
Oh, that man is amazing.
Oh my god, like I absolutely loved. So going back to just like the beginning of the movie and that whole shit like that.
Yes.
Like everybody like, and I was in a packed theater when I went. It was a Tuesday. It was a Tuesday night, and it was still a fucking packed theater. Like
well,
it was like
Tuesdays are always packed.
yeah, but like I mean, it's sold out. Like it was a sold out. I had to basically like bribe my father into buying tickets because I didn't have my credit card and I didn't actually have the way to like. I didn't have money on my card to actually pay for tickets at that point.
Ooh.
So I'm sitting like, well, shit. But anyway, so I ended up getting tickets from my dad, but it doesn't matter. But like we were, like me and my niece, we went, we had a great old time, everything like that. And then there were people talking and like having a conversation while the movie was starting and everything like that. And the moment the music started and that man started singing, silence. Just complete and utter silence in the theater.
I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to sing.
But no, like it's just like
God,
it was
that
so
man.
good. And it's not only that, but like it's the fact that like they paid an homage to Robin Williams' Genie by basically flat out saying that the merchant from the beginning of the original animated series was, of course, the Genie.
Yes.
Was, of course, Robin Williams' character, and I loved that. I love that kind of idea. And
Yes.
But anyway.
Oh, it broke.
What? What broke?
Julian, it makes Julian fries. Oh, it will never break. Oh, it broke.
It will not break. It broke.
And all right, so we've jizzed all over the Genie and how he was amazing and how he was great.
Can we talk about how the fact that Jafar was the worst fucking casting and like the worst fucking character in that movie?
And we're gonna get to that, but before we get to that,
Jafar
I
was
actually
so
have something else I want to talk about.
Man.
We've talked about how Jasmine was wonderful. Jasmine had feeling. Jasmine had strength. I loved Jasmine.
And Naomi Scott.
Yes.
Just and Naomi Scott. Woo.
And I wasn't even looking at that factor. I was seriously looking at, okay, this is doing the princess I have always loved so much good. Because I've always loved Jasmine. Jasmine has always been my favorite princess. Always. And Aladdin has always been my favorite male character. Always. Now, here is where I had the ever so slightest issue with this movie. Yeah, this is the only issue I had with this entire movie. When they opened a whole new world, when they started, when Aladdin was singing, the opening line.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
the
yes, I can show you the world. He had no emotion. It was,
yeah,
I can show you the world. It was just so, it was jaunty. It was jaunty. It wasn't the, I can show you the world. This isn't you. You're not singing a jaunty jazz number. You're singing an emotion-filled love song, essentially, to a woman you've only known for like 3 days. Anyway.
Yeah, that, like, I always still get confused at, like, the romance between, like, Aladdin and Jasmine and that whole thing. Like, obviously I get it. It's something that, you know, it happens. It's just a story. It's like, you know, it's obviously, like, the whole Aladdin Jasmine romance. It's just a thing.
But
it's in the original Arabian Nights and all that. But
yeah, and it's still not, again, but we're still having the issue of, this isn't a jaunty little number. This is Aladdin saying, come on, let yourself out.
Yep.
Let yourself be entangled in the entire world, a whole new world that you've never seen before. It's not, hey, I can show you the world. No, it's not that. Because that's basically what he did. And I hated it. And then when Jasmine kicked in, then it kind of evened out into what we knew.
Yeah, I felt like,
and then I was okay with
I felt like a lot of the things,
this is something,
the music itself. I felt like a lot of the things with
this
the music itself was, yeah. But me personally, I felt like I had an issue with.
I'm going nuts here, and I can't hear anything.
Oh, I had an issue with the music.
Hold on, Frost. I kind of lost you.
Well, I've been talking for about 5 minutes, so it's fine.
Oh, that's what I did. I accidentally muted you on my headset.
Well, don't do that.
I talk with my hands and I rolled the dial up.
That's fine. But anyway.
So everybody else heard you. I didn't.
Okay, so then they heard me, like, basically rambling for a few minutes, like, what the fuck am I saying? What the fuck is happening? What the fuck? What the fuck? Nothing?
Yeah.
But anyway, no, like, I had an issue with the music as a whole, because, like, I felt like, and this is just something that I, like, with A Whole New World, it had a different kind of feel to it, but, like, all of the other music, aside from Friend Like Me, didn't feel like it brought anything new. And don't get me wrong, it was a great rendition of a classic song and everything like that. But like, One Jump Ahead, one of my like absolute favorite songs in all of Disney, period. Like, just absolutely, I loved the way that worked. But like, I also like didn't personally care for the like more subdued early part of Prince Ali.
Right.
Like it felt a little too like we're gonna hang back a little bit. We're gonna try and like, but like this character had already established himself as this bombastic, like just loud and incredibly like, you know, powerful character. That's just who Genie was, and like he had already had Friend Like Me to start off the show, and so like, why are you holding back now? Why are you being like holding back kind of thing? Like, obviously, like once he got into character and he started doing all the like the movements and everything like that, then it started to feel more organic. But like just the entire time, I'm sitting here like, this just, for whatever reason, feels like he's being too careful with it.
Right.
And I also just like, I love the song One Jump Ahead. I do. I love One Jump Ahead. I didn't like it in this movie. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, and that's where I was on that.
But it wasn't unique enough. And like, holy shit. I don't know how they got a guy, like, an Indian guy, to sound like the goddamn white guy who played Aladdin in the original movie. Because, like, he seriously sounds so fucking similar.
Yeah, in certain songs.
Yes. Like, One Jump Ahead specifically had, like, a few things where it's just like, what the wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did they just sample the original?
It felt like that in a couple of places. It really did, and I agree with you on that. And I was still like, it's kind of like da 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 da. That's supposed to be the upbeat and jaunty song, not you know. And it kind of started out da 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 da, and then it kind of all of their music just started off just slightly wrong.
Yeah.
And
well, I don't know. I think Friend Like Me was damn near perfect.
Oh no,
I think
Friend Like Me. I think Friend Like Me is quite literally the only song that I had absolutely no complaints about at all.
Yeah.
Okay. We are hitting the 45 minute mark, which is good for us. Especially lately. Because I've been very blah and blah, out of it. So we're not going to take another break at the moment, but we will be soon.
But no,
because,
like, the only thing I will say is, like, and I'm gonna, like, I mean, just going back to the whole thing, like,
yeah, absolutely.
Holy fuck, Jasmine's song.
Yes, I agree.
Oh my god.
Her song you're talking at the end basically.
I'm talking, yeah, well, the original, like, variation of Speechless and, like, this one, too, came through, like, oh my fucking god. Like,
they were good.
She was fantastic. And, like, people talking about how her voice was processed and other shit too are just like, did you actually listen to it? Because there wasn't yeah, I mean, there was definitely, processing and production done, but like it wasn't auto-tuned, it wasn't her, it wasn't fake singing, anything like that. Like, that was Naomi Scott's voice, and it shone through. She was damn good. And I was impressed with how good she was. Because I'm sitting here like, holy fuck, okay.
I agree.
This woman can sing.
Yeah, and I was extremely happy with Jasmine as a whole. I really, truly was. Jasmine, as I said, has always been my favorite Disney princess of my era.
Yeah.
And then, of course, then we get into the new era, and I absolutely love Moana, but that's just me.
Moana is the best character to come out of Disney in a very...
Yes.
There is no, like... Moana and Maui are two of the best characters Disney has released in a very long time. Like,
Agreed.
But we're not talking about Moana.
No.
About how the fact that Dwayne The Rock just, like played himself in that movie 100%.
Oh, absolutely. He played his old wrestling character. That's what he did.
He really did, and it was great. I loved it. I love The Rock.
Oh yeah.
I really do.
Oh, definitely, me as well. So I want to now. I do want to take a little bit of a shift here, and I want to talk just because, I loved everything about Aladdin, and I really did. I loved the originality of it. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
I sat down and I took it as a separate standalone movie, just like I do with any remake at this point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the 3 movies we don't talk about on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Okay. As long as you remember those 3 movies, we'll always be good. For new listeners and for listeners who are just coming into the P3 network and didn't listen to the original show, the 3 movies we do not talk about in front of Babo are Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live action. We do not talk about the Aragon movie, and we do not talk about the 4th Harry Potter movie. Because those 3 movies will send Babo on a rant.
Yeah,
and nobody wants to hear me rant. Nobody. Not even the girlfriend wants to hear me rant about those 3 movies. Whew. Okay.
But anyway, no, and it's like, and I have that same mentality. Like, I know you haven't seen it yet, but like, I have that same mentality with like when I went and saw Detective Pikachu.
Yes.
Like, I went into it with the expectation of, okay, this is going to be a movie. This is going to be a film with a story. It just so happens to be based off a video game, which doesn't actually really have bearing on the game at all.
Right.
But it also just so happens to be it just so happens to feature a franchise that I am incredibly fond of.
Yep, same.
And
I'm working on seeing it. I really, truly am.
Oh my god. I loved it. Like, I loved Detective Pikachu because, you could very clearly tell that every person in that movie was either a fan of the Pokemon universe or was just having a good time. Because,
it makes me...
holy shit, Ryan Reynolds killed that movie. Ryan Reynolds is so good and just good for everything he's in.
Oh,
and
God, yes.
I get super impressed by the work he does. So,
I just gotta say, I wonder if Ryan Reynolds is actually a huge Pokemon fan. I can totally see it. I can totally see it.
He's a total Pokemon nerd. Just like tons of the people, fucking, like, there are people out there that are just huge Pokemon fans. Like, and just words don't words no make.
Well, it is midnight,
Words,
so that's understandable.
Yeah, but like, there are famous people out there that are huge Pokemon fans. There are famous people out there that are huge, like, just nerds. Like Mila Kunis from like Family Guy and that '70s show and everything like that. She is one of the biggest fucking World of Warcraft and Warcraft lore nerds you will ever know. And
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, and of course, obviously, you have the whole thing about Zelda Williams, Robin Williams' daughter,
Right.
like being literally named after Princess Zelda.
Yes.
Like,
so now, Frost, I want to turn the tone a little bit serious here for a minute, because we do have listeners who have in the past expressed interest in making things better for us.
Okay.
Helping us out in any way that they can. And we had talked about doing a way for them to be able to help us make the podcast better. And I know you are our, basically, I'm going to just call you our chief financial officer at this point.
Yes.
So I want you to talk about that for a minute here.
So I am in the process. It's right now I have to actually get everything situated, everything like that. We actually need to set up like a bank account and shit like that too, for shit to go into when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But I am currently in the process of making a Patreon page for the P3 network. And the P3 network basically, like, obviously, for those who don't know Patreon, it's a service that, as you wish, it's not required or anything like that.
By no means.
It's if you wish to support content like the podcast or people who create things or things like that, and you want to, like, if you wish to do these kind of things, oh, well, that sucked. If you wish to, like, support us in an extra way, you can basically make a pledge. It's like a monthly subscription kind of thing where you, or, well, we can set it up monthly or by video, by release, or whatever the hell you want to set it up as. It's actually very flexible and very customizable. I would primarily say monthly, because obviously, I mean that mostly we can do all the fun stuff with, like, we could do things, well, we could do all the crazy stuff with, like, actually setting up monthly rewards and things like that. But the reason I talk about it now is because, yes, I am in the process of setting up a Patreon page, and the way it's going to work is there will be different tiers of support. We'll go over that and discuss it when we actually go through, and that'll obviously be well documented on the page as well when I get it all set up. And basically, the more you pledge or the more you decide you want to support the podcast or us here as a crew or anything like that, there are different levels of rewards and different tiers of rewards. So, for example, the big thing that a lot of people, like, the easiest one that we can do is for people who want to support the podcast in a just simple, basic way, we can do... My neighbor is pounding on the...
Oh, okay.
Pounding on the wall, but it's fine.
Oh.
I'll quiet. But we can do a, like, monthly pledge where each episode of the podcast we can shout out Patreon supporters, and, like, their name will be in the podcast. It'll be in the like, in the actual, like, the archive and everything like that.
Every episode.
Yep, goes up
for
to
that
physical.
Month.
Yep, it goes up to physical rewards, such as things, kinds of, like, once we get it up there, once we get it to that point, we can do, like, swag or some physical stuff like that too, like T-shirts, pins, things like that as well. All the way up to potentially, like, doing things where once we get the live streams going, which I'm working on as well. Once we get the live streams and everything going on, we can Patreon supporter live streams and things like
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
All that good
Discord
stuff.
Groups.
Yep. That's also another one that's going to be really simple to do. Is just like you pledge to Patreon, you get added to the Patreon Discord. Like you get added to the Discord page for
where you can sit and chat with us and share ideas with us. It is literally a sounding board for our listeners.
Yep, and you can give us ideas. You can give us ideas for topics, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a way of an extra way of supporting us and doing that kind of stuff here. Once we get it all set up, we'll post links to it and things like that and let you know. But just know that it's like, and again, big thing is it's completely optional. It's not required at all.
Yeah, and what this is going to help us do is it's going to help us, for example, get a soundboard for the studio. It's going to help us get additional microphones for the studio. Because the studio is currently quite literally, I have a area of my parents' house set up as the studio. When I move into town, we are going to have a room specifically designated as the P3 Network studio. Quite literally, this will be a soundboard. We're talking like, we want to work towards getting a soundboard. This will help us pay our monthly subscription for Spreaker. This is going to do so much to help us as podcasters give you better content. If I have to get a whatever the capture card, what's the one that's that I could basically
Elgato?
Yeah, the Elgato. For the Pokemon Stadium Championships, the Elgato. It would help us get that, so we would be able to stream our Pokemon Stadium Championships right from the Nintendo 64 of all things. Because I know there is an attachment for that. I mean, this would help. This is going to help us give you better content. And I know now we're getting into the, oh my God, they're asking for money part. But we're not asking for money. We're asking to help give you better content. And by no means are we actually asking for money. We don't need, it's not something that we're going to say, well, we're going to stop doing it if, you don't give us money. No, we're not going to do that. By no means are we ever...
That would just be dumb.
Oh, yeah. And we're trying to grow and become more and do more. And unfortunately, with my life, getting... I actually had internet problems for almost a week last week. I couldn't do anything. And then life got in the way. And yeah, it's a mess. And we do the best we can as we can. But right now, I'm the only one producing. So, but Frost here is going to be able to start producing here next week. And so if my internet goes out, you can... Well, hello, potato truck that just decided that it was going to go by now at midnight. But no, it's one of those things that we're going to start getting more regular with our programming, even if I'm not able to do it. So you guys will be able to look forward to not just Bob O doing everything. And don't get me wrong, Frost, that's not a jab at you or Kharisma or
No.
I get it. I was the one who had access to everything first. It's all good. I love it. I love doing this. I would hate to not be able to do this weekly. It was driving me nuts to not get content up last week.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure that people knew that we are working towards that. So if there is anybody who is looking to, help us out in that way, we are working towards that. We're going to get it, this is going to be so we can pay our monthly subscription without having to worry about, oh, well, Bob O doesn't have a full-time job.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's besides the point. No, it's something to help everyone, not just us. All right. But enough of me rambling about money and how much I hate asking. What else do we got tonight, Frost? Do we have anything else?
I don't really have anything else at this point. I kind of just... I don't really have anything. I don't know.
I don't think
I know my neighbor's getting mad at me because I'm ruining his sleep pattern, apparently, because the dude, well, it is like midnight, so I get that, but also, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. What do we got? All right, guys. On that note, we are going to call it a night. Thank you for joining us here on the P3 Podcast Network, everybody. We are really, really super grateful for everybody listening. And I hope everybody has just a wonderful rest of your night. Frost, always good working with you.
Hi.
We will, and we'll be back sometime next week, or sometime maybe even, well, no, it'll be next week at this point, won't it? Well, no, yeah. It'll be this week. It'll be this week at this point. It's Sunday now.
That's right.
All right, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you, and you'll hear from us again. Frost, as always, I gotta say, though, I had such high hopes for this episode.
Yeah, it didn't end up too badly.
So I got one more